All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. It's 9 a.m. right now. Doing something a little different today. We're all on our way to go see our buddies over at Culture Kicks in Philadelphia. They're buying some pairs. We're going to tour their warehouse. They've been blowing up on Whatnot. And we're going to do a podcast with them today. So, very excited. So, right now, we're getting the inventory loaded up. They bought some pairs. But, very excited about today. It's beautiful outside. So, let's get over to Philly. It's pretty spooky right now. I'm going to design this little bridge here, but we've got some oncoming traffic coming both ways. At least we're halfway through the drive. Awesome. Almost there. Can't wait. Eric's going to be driving in about 5 minutes. Apparently we're in Amish country because it smells like absolute horse shit out here. Fucking reeks. It's brutal. But could not ask for a more beautiful day. Can't wait for Eric to drive. All right, we just got here. Really nice building. Luckily, they're on the first floor, so we're gonna go check out their building real quick, see what they're about. I know they got some stickers in there, so let's go check it out.
The Kingdom.
This is it.
What's good? What's
It's good, brother. How are you?
Welcome,
welcome.
Wow.
There he is.
What's up? What's up?
Let's go. Get out there.
Thank you so
How we
much.
doing?
Living the dream.
Let's go. Welcome.
It's a nice place.
Yeah, it's about like 3,500 square feet. Of course, we do all of our like live streaming right in here, right this section.
Unfortunately, I'm not able to put this sign over the new Super Bowl memorabilia, but hey, we'll long live the dream.
Fuck the refs, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, see, this is like the Philly special play.
All that signed too, right?
All signed, yeah.
Crazy shit.
So Trey Burton, obviously,
So-
literally, yeah. There's only like, I'm pretty sure there's like 150 of these made where he actually like draws the play. Maybe not even that much. And then BG, obviously the winning. Obviously, very too soon. Might be too soon to bring him through this with the loss.
That
This would be
price
like our
sick.
inventory type of lounge.
One of one right there. So
One
the guy,
on one.
literally the guy, his name's King Saladin. He actually just did the main artwork for SneakerCon, but he like writes it right here, one of one. And he's out of Philly, and he does JP the Money Bear. So you can see right there, that's the OG username handle right there with the 3, and he just did 2023.
That's a print, but he hand embellished that, like he touched it, you know. So he sells $500,000 paintings, and he did not have to do that. So it was incredibly kind of him, and it's priceless. It's one of one.
Is he from Philly?
Yes, so it's true Philly support Philly. But he came through. You actually probably saw him on our YouTube and our
I did
Instagram.
see him, yeah.
He was the first private shopper, so he came through, bought like 4 pairs. And in the room, you guys will see all the content is like where we're gonna have the sneaker store set up. But you're seeing raw, bro, before because we're gonna have a sneaker wall and everything.
Guys, a lot of you guys have to understand too, this doesn't happen overnight. You know, these guys have employees. It takes time. Don't ever think you can just do this overnight. Don't ever get discouraged.
So these 3 rooms will be the walls will be broken down. As you can see, this is all of our boxes and shipping.
Boxes.
Look at that.
A
Holy,
little unorganized.
holy fuck.
Yeah, that's another thing people don't understand. Building a business, like, this is thousands of dollars in boxes. Like, that's why when people say,
Tape, bubble wrap's not free either.
yeah,
none of it.
Tape and bubble wrap, exactly. Here's just more boxes. But again, this whole 3-room wall will be knocked down, and there's going to be a, what's it called, Chase?
Like a bell door.
A bell
We're gonna
door
have, like-
there, yeah, for trucks to pull up to and empty everything. So it'll be like literally a long stretch warehouse here with all of our shoes.
And then there's another room too.
And this is the main room, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is where
This
we'll
is
do
so sick.
all the content. This is where the magic happens for Mr. Editor behind the scenes. This is Jordan's office. In there.
Oh, man.
He's got a nice little pad going in there. That art on the wall too is his original art. He made that. Pretty cool.
He made that.
He made that, yeah, with his own hands.
Look at the young boot.
Yeah. Oh, guys, when we say we buy everything, our banner that says we buy everything, Chase bought this for $30 this weekend. Lowballed the heck out of him.
The UGG?
The UGG,
That's
the UGG boot
awesome.
couch.
The UGG
That
boot
is
couch.
awesome.
It's a good display piece.
And this is the content room. This is where the magic is going to happen.
All the magic.
Here's what we'll be meeting today. But that behind is going to be an entire sneaker wall. Obviously, you see the captain himself, Chase Young, there
Thank
at Michigan. But like,
Holy fuck, you guys have like pretty much this whole side of the building.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole building, or the whole side of this building. Yeah.
But this wall is going to be private shopping, sneaker only. Like this whole table is going to move. This is getting out of here, and it's going to be like off whites, retro forward ones, everything.
This is where we'll be
Training
shooting the
Michael
podcast today.
When he was coming out of jail.
Damn.
Like literally coming from the Hawks.
Crazy.
Like agility is
So sick.
I
just finished the walk around
yeah,
this fucking place. Like, it's hard to tell on camera. It's crazy.
We were tapped
And
out.
they're not even finished yet. I mean, there's just so much going on right now. We're about to get something to eat, and then we're getting ready to film a podcast. So, fucking love it.
It is literally the hardest part about this, though. Like, I'll probably tell them more when we sit in. Like, adapting to the changing trends and also making people happy and like you while making money and growing a business. Because, like, everything we do needs to be so public, but also, like, what other businesses can you just, like, look up the wholesale cost of, like, toilet paper that they're selling at
Right.
Like,
All right.
looks amazing.
No, he just needs his behind you.
Oh my
shit.
God!
There we go.
All right, great. Start it off.
Oh, my God.
What are the chances?
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Neecs After Hours podcast. I have two very special guests here with me today. I'm very, very excited. These guys are absolutely killing it right now, and I've been very excited to have this interview with them. I'm here with Culture Kicks. I'll let them introduce themselves.
I'm Alex.
Chase.
And what these guys are doing right now on these social media platforms is fucking crazy. You know, a lot of you guys, you see these guys on platforms that do this stuff, it doesn't seem real. These guys are doing it. So I want to kind of get in depth with what these guys are doing numbers-wise and show you how they've built their business from being in this massive facility right now to being in a basement less than a year ago. So, guys, what is Culture Kicks?
I mean, Chase, I'll probably let you start it off just because you
For
really
sure.
did bring the company. Chase, again, both of us, I'll just kind of preface this. We started working a full-time job. Chase had Culture Kicks as a side hustle. Came to me when I was working a full-time job and said, hey, I haven't really asked a lot of people before if they'd want to be a partner in something that I want to go do full-time. Actually, in the last video we just dropped, we talked about the bar that we met at and just kind of like had the idea of Culture Kicks, but give them the rundown, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I'll start it from the beginning. It was back in like the COVID time, March 2020.
Wow,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
incredible.
That's when kind of the boom of the sneaker industry was happening. You had The Last Dance, obviously being aired, and just shoes. The shoe market was going crazy, right? And I was buying a shit ton of shoes for personal, like a lot of shoes for my personal. And my girl actually told me, she was like, Chase, like, you have too many shoes. Like,
Yeah.
you got to start selling some of these. And my roommate actually was like, said the same thing pretty much. Like, dude, you should sell some of these. Like, whatever. You'll be able to get a lot of money out of them, especially with, the rise in markets. Shit was just, mids were going for dummy amount of money.
Yep.
And, I thought about, all right, well, how do I, sell these shoes? What platform should I get on, right? Instagram was number one. And I thought about the name Culture Kicks, like getting just the whole sneaker culture just embodied into one brand. And, I remember even sketching out, like I was in my bed, like sketching out the whole emblem and design of Culture Kicks, the brand. And then from there, like I started off with maybe like 10 to 12 pairs of shoes I was selling.
10 to 12 pairs
Yeah.
of these guys. Oh, you'll see behind the scenes what they have now. It's incredible. It's crazy.
Yeah, so like 10 to 12 pairs of shoes. And I remember like the Core Purple, actually it's funny, I'm wearing them right now. Core Purple 2.0s were dropping, and made my brother and my girl like go and enter the sneakers and all that stuff.
Of course.
And then we dropped it on Instagram. I had my buddy Chris Martin, who was like the first photographer on the channel or on
Shout
our
out
page.
to Chris.
Shout out to C-Mart. Had him taking all the pictures and everything. And I remember like our first couple sales was like, took like a month. Took me like a month to sell my first pair of shoes. And, this is all from the beginning, of course, like took a month to like sell my first pair of shoes. And after that, like things just started moving. I had some friends that were in the social media game, Swag Food Philly, shout out to them as well. We did our first giveaway, like a UNC Jordan 1, or the Obsidians, back when
Very
TikTok
nice
was
shoe,
busting.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? So like those were just like the staple. And we shot those on Broad Street, and we did a giveaway, ran up like 1,000 followers.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was like the first giveaway that we did, and then ever since then, you know, it's kind of been a grind just on Instagram where I was just selling shoes, uploading what I was selling. So, shoes were selling online. We were doing like the whole thing where just like making Instagram stories and
Thursday night story sales, baby.
Thursday night story sales. We'll get into
They
that.
loved Chase's hand. They needed to see Chase's hand for it to sell. It wouldn't sell unless he was holding it.
Exactly. So,
the Venmos, the addresses. Yo, send Addy, bro. Is the payment through? Because it's about to be sold. Even though no one on the other end is really trying to cop it.
I think a big thing, too, like you said, it took him a month to sell his first shoe. It didn't. Like, it wasn't like he didn't have people he was already going to. A lot of these guys have built connections and stuff like that. They built it from the ground up. Mm-hmm. Taking a month to sell your first shoe, it could really be
discouraging.
Exactly. It makes you want to like get angry.
Well, it's funny. Sorry, Chase, cut you off. But even where we just met, we both left that off like in an Applebee's parking lot off Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Okay. Like literally, like I still to this day I sold to Chase. Of
Yes.
all the times I sold to Chase. But like if you're not going out there and really trying, like that's the craziest thing. Like I remember to this day sitting in high school, right, and hearing like these motivational speakers come through and tell you, oh, you can put your mind to anything, you achieve it. But like literally, like you just have to get out there and work and try and swing. Like if you don't take a shot, like you're never gonna, achieve anything. And like, of course, it's maybe sometimes scary to post a shoe online and like maybe nobody wants to bite it, but it only takes one. It only takes one sale. You're like,
I think a big thing is too is when you start posting things, people are going to make comments, and you can't get away from it. You're like, what the fuck's this guy doing posting shoes? He looks like a fucking loser.
Yeah.
You can't worry about people saying that shit because you know what? When you start building the audience, those are going to be the same people who are going to try to get in your friend group.
Absolutely. I was going to just say too, like even starting the page, right? And I was working full-time job. I was working at a pharmaceutical company, and so my friends were like, "What are you doing? Like this whole like sneaker thing on the side?" So like a lot of people were kind of just like, it makes it discouraging because people don't support like the friends that you had since you were young, right?
They don't see the vision.
They don't see the vision of it. And honestly, me, I started off like, I knew where this company could get to because I knew like my work ethic, like my drive, like I was a college athlete, like I knew what it took once I put my mind to something, how to get there. So just like rewinding back, like maybe like 1,000 followers right on the Instagram. Selling, I actually someone tried to buy like a pair of DMP6s off me and it was a fake sale. So they were trying to scam me. It was like my first ever sale. I'm like already getting scammed.
There's a lot of roadblocks on the way.
A lot
up
of roadblocks.
that could just make you stop, like right there.
Yeah.
Now, you guys, you said you met in Applebee's parking lot.
Yeah.
When did your connection really bloom? Like, after that happened, did you guys continue talking to each other? Like, when did you guys know, like, wow, I want to work together?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just always really easy business. Like every single time,
business.
it's just you had those like one or two guys who you could just count on. Okay, if nobody's moving it to my clientele, because I had like my own kind of, he had his own, then I'll just bulk move it for like a good price to them because it's convenient. I drive there, cash there, whatever. I'd probably say like, probably took like 4, 5, 6 months of that. And then we just kind of like, you have to almost take a jump off the ledge where you're like, you kind of are trusting. And it can go totally south, but also it can go great. And like we kind of just had this like vibe, like I don't know, both like good dudes. Like went to a couple sneaker shows. Like we're actually, it's funny. Like in the earliest days, I'm on there buying like one pair of New York Dunks from them. But I mean, seriously, it's almost like when you go to a college, you're just like, I have a good vibe about this place. I'm gonna go here, like whatever. And it ended up working out. And he just basically said like, I'm gonna do this full time. If you want to come with me, like your strong suits work very well for the marketing aspect side of it. Like I can continue the sneaker and whatever. We both know how to buy, so we're like, fuck it, let's try it.
And I think what's really cool is like a lot of behind the scenes stuff. The way these two interact, it's like they've been lifelong friends, and they've just met each other, which is like crazy to be like. They seem like they're almost family. So it's cool to see where this sneaker community has came and risen from having 1,000 followers to what are you guys at now?
21 something.
22.
Right? 22K.
Yeah, 22K on IG, but almost 30K on Whatnot.
Yeah.
And that's a great segue here. Out of all your selling platforms, it seems like Whatnot has really increased your sales. Mm-hmm. What are some things that the viewers want to know about Whatnot? Like, what do you enjoy about the platform?
I think, like, Chase, take it from here, but it's so unparalleled to every other selling platform where you can just interact with them one-on-one, and every single person feels like they're your best friend. And every single person, like, you buy from them just like you were in a store. So, like, obviously you hear the live auctioning and everything like that, but it really is a crazy tight-knit community when you hold a shoe and you're like, here you go, brother, like, buy this. And if you don't buy this, the guy to the left and right is going to buy it from you. So, of course, the competitive nature comes out to the maxes, but you really build a community as far as, like, every single first-time customer, you get a free T-shirt, Culture Kicks T-shirt. There were times in the beginning, guys, where, like, again, it's hard to have a partner and, like, not disagree on everything, but, like, Chase is definitely sometimes thinks better overall for the business, where I'm like, we got aggressive build on growth, and like I'm giving T-shirts when like we probably can't afford in the very beginning to give every person.
That's a great thing you say. When you guys see these giveaways, you think they're like they get them for free. T-shirts aren't cheap. You got to buy them. Then you give them away. Then you guys still aren't happy. So it's funny to see that you say that they can't afford the T-shirts.
But it comes all like an avalanche at the end, and like you put that work in and that emotion, and now we're like seeing unparalleled growth because of all those T-shirts. Think about it, like shit. There's probably 5,000 to 10,000 T-shirts out there, people wearing Culture shirts, and it's like,
Free
yeah, in the beginning, we were making $30 a pop on a Culture story sale after we shipped them the label and sent them a T-shirt, but now it's adding, and they come back to Whatnot, run it up, there's sponsorships, 24-hour stream tomorrow.
I was gonna say, there's no like better, I feel like, platform than just like live streaming.
Yes.
Live streaming is gonna be massive in the future. And even now, right now, it's just a massive way to be able to either sell inventory, right, interact with your fans, interact with people, your community. Like, there's just nothing like it. So any streaming platform, like Whatnot Network we're on as well, it's just uncomparable to, like, all right, back, 5 months ago when we weren't on the platform, when we were, selling, whether it be on our website or selling to, like meetups, right, or going to like the Wells Fargo Center. Like we'll sell at the Wells Fargo games, like Flyers games.
But what's funny is, so we would
nothing beats it, man.
Nothing beats it, and we used to say, yeah, we're the official partner of the Wells Fargo Center selling, because nobody ever sold sneakers live during a game for Flyers games, everything under that roof before us, and now we turn it down because going live on Whatnot is so much better for us as a business, growing to all of our platforms. Like I was gonna say this for you, Neecs, like. You've had a store. You know what it's like to have 100 people come through in a day, and 99 of them don't actually want to buy a shoe. They just
There's a
want to waste
lot
their
of
time.
window shoppers when you see this stuff. A lot of you guys, when you have especially a storefront, a regular consumer doesn't understand the sneaker market. So if a mother comes in with her son, and she sees a $4 pair of shoes, it's not normal to like a normal person. It's not sustainable. So when you're on these online platforms like Whatnot Network, people know the sneaker market. You know what I mean? So people know the value of certain shoes. So it's really cool to see now that you guys are on Whatnot. Just started back in October, and where you guys are at now, it's fucking awesome. Now, what made you choose Whatnot over the other ones?
They actually reached out to us. And it's funny when it happened too, because it was during a time where Chase and I were actually starting to say, like, dude, we're going to these shows, like, buying, like, 20,000 worth and just trying to sell it. And, like, if it doesn't sell, like, what do? We just bring it to the next show and wholesale it. And it's hard in this industry, as we talk about a lot, to, like, adapt to the current changing trends, make all your customers super happy and love you, and continue growing as a business and hiring new employees. And Whatnot, that's what made us choose it. We kept finding that it was helping as far as building our YouTube, building all these other platforms. But also we are making money and thinking of new creative ways to, sell and grow our brand. All in one.
And what I think they do good on Whatnot is they are actually selling sneakers. Back in the day when I was on Whatnot, it has changed tremendously.
For sure.
A lot of these guys who are on the platform now, and ladies, a lot of them don't have a personality, and you're not engaging with them.
Yeah.
When these guys go live, it's like electrifying. You get excited, you want to spend money, and nobody wants to spend money with somebody who just doesn't feel like they're there. They're bitching, oh, this didn't sell for this didn't sell for that. These guys know the risk when they go up there. They're selling the mystery boxes, and they're getting good items. So
for sure. I was going to say, touching on the mystery box games and everything, like input cost for us is around like 18, 20 G's, every single show. So if we don't sell out of those mystery boxes, or if they're not selling at all, like that's a tough hit for us as a business. So we do take a lot of risk doing them, but like you got to, when that camera turns on, it's a different game. It's like playing a sport.
I was going to say,
business
we are
is a sport. So we're, getting ready. We're trying to be as entertaining as possible, and just making it a show, making it like it's a one-time. It's your first time ever on Whatnot. We want to make it memorable. You know what I mean? So we definitely take a lot of pride in that.
And that's the thing with Whatnot though too, which scares a lot of sellers away, is like it is a 10% fee. So think
Yeah.
about this: we started at like under $200. The average floor is around $250, right? So then you lose like $30, 25 plus shipping, whatever. If it
Shipping
doesn't sell,
materials aren't free either.
Those are not free.
and here's the thing: shipping materials aren't free. The people to actually ship the items aren't free.
Yeah.
If the box doesn't go for like $260, $280, then after fees, you're below the floor that you have to promise, or you're going to get bad ratings. So you also have to balance keeping your ratings high. It's extremely, incredibly hard, and that's why I told Neecs before this offline. It's like I could tell you the exact way how to build this game, and 99.9% of everyone out there still wouldn't be able to do it more than once, because to set up, to run it, to ship it out after, to deal with all the headaches that potentially come through. God forbid someone steals your package.
UPS or the post office loses it. There's just certain things that are out of your control.
So many.
And you guys think that they can control the shipping if a package shows up damaged, like they damaged it. You know what I mean? Like,
And we'll
they're
get
putting all
every
the blame on
2-star
you.
review in the world for a dented corner on a box that a guy chucked like a, what do you call it, in Australia?
Frisbee or something.
Yeah.
And I think what's funny now is Whatnot out of the DM system, which I think is a fucking mistake.
Yeah.
So you get all these guys under the sun, saying, what the fuck, cursing you out, like going on, like they didn't control it. They're shipping out your items. They're showing you they're shipped out. How can they control how the post office gets it to your house?
Yeah.
And then you leave them a 1-star review, and then you buy from them again. This doesn't make sense.
Who, by the way, picks it up from our door right here in a brand new box, straight fresh from Uline.
Yeah, literally.
But it is what it is. Again, it's sales. We love it. It comes with the good and the bad.
Of course.
People tag us randomly just wearing our shirts, obviously, that found us on Whatnot. You don't run
That's a
mystery.
great feeling.
Yeah, it's amazing. You don't want, and that's the key too, to spice it up. As Chase was saying earlier, like you run a Monday show, a Saturday show, where you get deals. So we'll run these from like $1, right? And you'll probably get them for $300 under. But it's a first-time customer. They feel good getting it in person. They come back. They buy 5 mystery boxes. More than likely, we'll win because 100 people are trying to buy the same box.
Right.
And a big thing is, too, when you're buying the mystery box, it's not the Royal One scam.
Yeah.
These guys are actually giving you items that are worth value.
Exactly.
As you can see, we have some Dior's in front of me. We have some crawfishes. We have some trophy rooms. You're not getting a $70 dunk that they say is worth $400.
No.
You're actually getting items that are legitimate and,
Dead stock.
Dead stock. You
Everything.
can't beat it.
Everything's brand new.
Yeah.
That's
For
why we've seen the
$400.
growth. That's why we've seen the growth we have too, Neeks. Because I think like people come on and they say, even when we go through and we love to take care of other streamers too. Go tip them $100. That's another cool thing about being part of the Whatnot community. We'll go on and they'll say right away, best mystery boxes you guys have ever seen. But people hear the 2 words mystery box and they think NFT, scam, whatever.
Right.
It's like no, like you get literally Mitchell and Ness apparel that's like $150.
That's authentic. It's not fake, Mitchell.
Yeah.
Stamped.
Not from the China store.
Which, by the way, I think I saw some at one of the shows this weekend. And a shoe, a brand new Jordan or Dunk in every box. So it's like, why would you not take the risk-free shot at a Dior 1 being in your box? So that's why I think we've seen kind of some of that growth unparalleled to other people who have to sell 15,000 items from $1. We've gotten to the same following, if not more, with selling a 4th. So.
And I think a big thing the audience wants to know, everybody viewing this, a lot of you guys want to know how to resell, how to get into the game. Can you guys say where you've came from Whatnot, saying, your smallest stream, what you started out with, to now, to when you had your biggest stream, like, money-wise, see what people can make in this game?
Sure. In October, maybe our first stream ever. Well, we always had heat. Like, we had some, heater items and all dead stock apparel. So I think, like, our first stream ever was maybe around, like, $3,000 to $4,000 in sales.
That's fucking awesome.
Which is still awesome. It's still great.
Could have been 800 though. That's the key part. You can start from 800.
Yeah. We were running everything at $1 back then, too. Like, crazy
We
heat.
know that game.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was, times were different back then. But I would say now one of our best shows was probably around, like, the 35 to 40K range.
55 cherry day though.
Well, you got to talk about that too. So yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't even know that number, but
Yeah. So it ranges. He's right. The average is like 35 to 40K a show.
The average show is 35 to 40K.
When we
One of the
ran
some of the biggest shows,
yeah,
yeah.
some of the
Okay.
biggest average shows. Here's the thing too. We changed our model over time because that was when we ran 100 mystery boxes in one shot, but then we started realizing that we were kind of tiring some of them out and they couldn't stay till the end when we opened them.
It was like 8-hour streams.
So now we run 2 halves of 25, and they're probably around the 20K mark, I would say, 15 to 20K. But we did pitch to Whatnot, and that's what we do mostly on network. That's the cool thing about if you're hearing the different live auction things, we're like the release day boys. So like we sold like 400 of the lost and founds, thanks to God and you guys for supporting, on release day right before Christmas, and they were for $350. And then the market went up, obviously, to $450, $480. We sold over 400 for $350, so that was crazy. But that was all on network, so you buy now. On Whatnot, we did the Cherry 11 release with them, sold 150 at retail. Obviously, they help us do that with a marketing expense to pay, you know, some of the value that it's actually worth. But that was like a 55K show, yeah.
Whatnot Network, if you guys are listening to this, I know Whatnot's listening. These guys are busting their ass off for you guys. You need to show them some gratitude. I know you guys have streamers on the app, but these guys are busting their ass day in and day out. You need to show support to these guys because you know what? There's other platforms out there. It's not just Whatnot anymore. You got to show these guys love, or, you know, they can go anywhere else they want. And when you guys are doing these big streams and stuff like that, and it's a lot of repeat customers, and you're giving Whatnot 10%, there has to be gratitude given to you guys. You know what I mean?
Of course,
Absolutely.
of course. And like, of course, they do like show love in every way that they can and put you in the position to succeed. But at the end of the day, like, we just want to build our own brand and family, and like whatever that's best for us, you know, we'll follow our hearts. And you never know what might come. There might be a third app next month. There might be whatever. So you got to show all the love where it's due. And so far, they've taken great care of us, but we plan to grow much larger.
So, in the next year, I know 2023 is going to be a crazy year for everybody involved. Where do you see Culture Kicks going? Do you guys want to stay online? Do you want to, like, you know, keep pushing out social media? What's the goal for you guys right now?
I'll take this. So I feel like 2023, obviously we just moved into our new warehouse. We want to start this VIP culture shopping experience.
And I'm telling you guys, it is really fucking nice in here.
Yeah.
Really nice.
So I think that's one of our main goals of the year is to make sure that we have this place available for people that really want to spend some crazy money on some Dior lows, right? Stuff that's like really hard to find, right? And you want to have a experience where you're not getting, you know, bum rushed by whoever's at the mall. So we definitely are like really putting and investing a lot of time and effort into making sure this place is ready to go. And then from like the Whatnot and streaming perspective, I think that we want to be on these streaming platforms as much as possible. Like right now we're doing that 24-hour streamathon. That's something that we can't do.
Yeah, make sure you guys tune in for that.
Yeah, I got to tune into the 24-hour streamathon.
These are going home for $400.
But I think that over time we'll get more employees here in-house where we can just be running on multiple different multiple different accounts all under the Culture umbrella and kind of taking it on, like looking at it from that perspective.
Now, as business owners now, does it feel crazy if you could go back in time to that Applebee's parking lot and say, hey, Chase, we're gonna have 14 employees. Would you have believed it?
I mean, like looking at Alex too, like right when we first started and like when we set out goals to get this stuff done, it was all things that I felt like was achievable. It was just a matter of time. So even the goals that we have for ourselves now, it's just like, it'll happen. It's just when. So, you know, 14 employees, this warehouse, like it's all something we thought about back then. But to this extent, like, I mean, we didn't think we were going to be on Whatnot or Network either. Like, that was the one thing.
Or be saying any of this within a year. We haven't even been in LLC for a full year.
Yeah, we started the LLC last
So that's
March.
like the thing that you guys watching too, like, it can happen. It can feel like it happens quick, but if you put in the work and you just show love to as many people up along the way, like, it comes back. And you don't know where or who it's coming from, but I swear to God it does. It's crazy the way the world works, man.
That's a big thing too, is like I tell, you know, just by talking to these guys off camera, they're very genuine. I have talked to people, you know, off camera that are complete bullshit. These guys, what they say they mean, and it's really refreshing, especially them being so young and motivated. Like like me, when I was doing this stuff, you know, it's very hard to stay motivated all the time because, especially being in the streetwear culture and sneakers, you meet a lot of terrible fucking people.
Yep.
Especially, I'm from the Pittsburgh area. We have a lot of grease balls. I can only imagine them being in Philadelphia when they deal
Philly's
with.
not much different.
So, do you see Culture Kicks, both of you guys, staying in Philadelphia, or do you guys see you going to any other cities? Or
Yeah. So that's the one thing about that question. Everyone's favorite question is, when's the store? Are you getting a store, right? And to Chase's point, I think we stream 6 days, probably 7 days a week by the end of this year with different employees we have coming through. Just hired a full-time employee only for streaming. Why would you, rush to a store when you can have hundreds of people in one place and only one person can buy and you don't have to get kicked your tires around by hundreds of others? I think we have a store in Philadelphia. We hold down the Philadelphia kind of sneaker company and influencers and, bring the whole community together, but only when it doesn't need to make a single dollar. When it's really just a marketing pinpoint, capital HQ kind of, where our office is out of, like, probably even keep something like this warehouse for operations. And then we try and build the exclusive private shopping like you guys see here today in Florida, targeting West Palm Beach area, Miami area, places like that. Again, something that you can just kind of fly your private clientele out to. We'll literally sell it via auction, like an experience to come out for the weekend. Really just kind of like build the community and not say like build like levels or tiers of it, but like definitely like, auction higher status things to give people a real experience. Like, why do you go to Disney World? Because you want a crazy experience with your family. So like, come like to Culture HQ, like we'll plug you with a car, a watch, and some shoes. So.
And that's, they're starting, they got the shoes, they want to get in the watches and the cars and the real high-end stuff, which is, I find intriguing. And a lot of you guys out there watching this, I know you have a passion for this. Everybody thinks the end goal is the store. And I get it. It sounds cool, it sounds luxurious, but when you're selling online, especially at the, the volume they are making much more money doing this now than if they had a storefront that you have to be locked down to where you can't move. When you have a storefront, you can't travel, you can't, meet connections, you can't go to these events as much. So
For sure.
what they're
Time is
doing
money.
now, exactly right, time is money. What they're doing now, having this warehouse is just, it's the next level. It's what you guys need to be thinking about.
Whenever you see 99% of people looking in one direction, you have to think about where are they not looking. I need to find the one thing. Every table you go to, they want to sell us their bricks, and everyone's focused on the Jordan 4 Uni Blue. And it's like, build a business around where everyone's not looking. Whether you're just tuning in because you like Neecs because he's like the funniest guy I've met in my life, and you're like trying to build a restaurant business or whatever, it's crazy. It's crazy the opportunities you can find in the darkest shadow places.
Yeah.
Nobody's looking.
I was gonna say, like, the sneaker industry, right? Like, you can emulate this into other business models, right? Where, we're selling shoes and everything, and we're making margins on this stuff and that. But like, once you learn how to sell and how to buy anything, you can build a business around it. So just getting your fundamentals in place will make you just a better business person. Because at the end of the day, we're not resellers; we're business people, right? We're thinking of everything from a business perspective, and I think that's like very key that I want to get across to the viewers and everything is like, stop thinking of yourselves as just like these low end. Oh, I'm a reseller. Be like, think of yourself as a business minded person who's looking to run and operate a business, a fully functioning business.
And that's the thing, too, a lot of people don't understand is for the business-minded people, these guys have families, they have girlfriends, they have lives, but this is something they choose to do. When you go into business for yourself, you're not going to be successful unless it consumes you. It has to be everything a part of you guys. Like, I'm pretty sure there's days where they just don't want to come in, but they still come in and stream. They got to deal with the dickheads on Whatnot or Network or these crazy people, but you know what?
Yeah.
They have the passion, they have the drive. They started this less than a year ago. So you guys have to understand, these guys are working and working and working. It just didn't happen.
Right. And less than a year ago, the Culture Kicks brand, but like I said, back in 2020 is when I first, and it took me a month to sell my first shoe.
The LLC is less than a year.
Yeah, it's less than a year. So it does take time, guys, for sure.
But what I think people appreciate most, like you said, is being genuine.
Being genuine. And that's like obviously why we wanted to do this to begin with, is like give a real story, because this is my real life, and like, hey, look, I'm a kid who I worked a job. I didn't like the corporate world, and I said I want to be my own business. I want to be my own businessman, and just go do it. Like, No one's gonna, because once you quit your job and you don't got your 401k or you don't got whatever, and you're like, you wake up and you're like, well, shit, how am I gonna feed myself? You go
How are
and
my
you go
bills
do
getting
it.
paid
How
this
are my
month?
bills getting paid? Because
And
my parents aren't doing that shit anymore.
And that's the craziest
So-
part is like now when we are like definitely the most successful the brand or business has ever been is the time that our backs are the most up against the wall. Because
Quick question:
like,
how old are you guys by chance?
25.
I'm 27.
They're just my age. We're getting older now. We're
Getting older. We're on
Are you
the,
27?
Yeah.
we're closer to 30 than to 20. I'll tell you that.
And that's the thing that's funny too that I notice is the older guys. This is it for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're like getting out of the younger age for experimenting and stuff. Like this is the time where you got to buckle down and be like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I also feel like there's so much time, man. Like we look at guys that are big in certain other industries, like a Gary Vee.
I was just gonna say,
Like
yeah.
we have so much time on our hands that like it might feel like we're running to like our end, right? Like 30, and then you're like, oh, I'm selling sneakers at 30. But like, bro, like you're a business owner. Like you're just gonna be growing. By the time you hit 30, by the time you hit 35, you'll be in a whole another like stratosphere of what you can accomplish and like what type of money you can bring in and all that type of stuff. So it's just the beginning, honestly.
You learn how to do more and work less hard.
Yeah.
That's the craziest thing, and there's no rule book to success. Like, it's like I said, there's like tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars that we would have had more if we just had one simple idea like 2 months earlier. Like, if you guys are tuned into our Whatnot, you know the Big Baller giveaway, right?
Yeah.
You know if you bid the $300 average, which you're guaranteed on average in your box, one of you gets a Travis Scott for free. Didn't have that idea at all in December, and we were live every single day and did pretty good sales numbers.
Right.
So if we just have that one idea, again, like your lives can change, but you find that as you grow every single time.
Now, would you say your business model is always changing, or are you trying to keep the same bread and butter? Like, what do you think works best for you guys?
Adapting, I feel
It's
like.
always
We're
changing.
always changing.
It's the same sort of, theme of selling, bringing in new customers, like keeping them, well taken care of. But the trends, especially in this live auction industry where there's a new horse in the race every day coming
Yeah.
to take you down. We see on the daily people like, I'll get links sent to me like they're doing exactly what you're doing. And it's like, that's cool because the people who run Whatnot are even like, you gave the
That's a
recipe for
compliment.
success.
That's
For
making you
sure.
feel good.
It makes you feel good. But again, people are coming to take you down. So we got to think now that everyone does mystery boxes, what's the next mystery box? Because we started doing them like crazy consistently before they were an everyday thing.
Right. And even the apparel and the items inside the mystery boxes, like, we're trying to just freshen up and
Yeah.
make sure that, because, like, if you're an OG subscriber or OG fan of ours and you've been buying shoes from us and you're probably like, all right, I already have everything they got. Like,
Yeah.
so now we're trying to switch up everything that we're getting in-house. Like, where we're trying to get wholesale on certain items so that we can be able to spread them out through these mystery boxes and get people new stuff every time they come join through on a stream.
Now, do you feel like the new competition, does it piss you guys off, or does it make you hungry to make better videos?
Hungrier, man.
Hungry, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
we're the
fuel.
type of, it's like our personalities. That's
Yeah.
why when we locked in, I was like, this kid's pretty much like me, like when it comes to his mentality. Probably even harder. Like, I've honestly never met someone like Alex with the amount of just like work ethic and drive and always constantly thinking of like how to grow bigger. Because he was the one who kind of got me out of my shell. Because like the people you hang around, like, it's so cheesy and cliche, but like literally your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
And they say it all the time, but like I was in the mindset of I gotta drive around, go loot pairs of shoes, I gotta go, sell some resellers and grow my brand on Instagram. And Alex is like, bro, like we gotta start shipping these, because like how long does it take you to go do a meetup? And I was like, about like an hour. And he's like, all right, well, how much money do you make? Like, I'm like, I don't know, 50 to 100 maybe, depending on the profit. It's like, okay, well, we can do that all day in here and ship out shoes that worldwide, and you don't have to run around and potentially get like in a car accident or someone try to jank you or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like obviously the people you're around will be able to just enhance you in life.
And like-minded people, it's so hard to find people who share their goal. Like everybody I've met here today, they all share the same vision. They want
For sure.
Culture Kicks to explode. Just like with my brand Neecs, I got Eric and Kyle who want me to excel, and I want them to excel. So the big thing is making sure you have a good circle around you, because
course.
there's a lot of people who are cheering you on. They say they're cheering you on, but they're not.
Right.
There's people who want you guys to fail, and
course.
it's the sad truth of reality. But that should make you want to go that much harder.
Of course.
Like when I watch their Instagrams and stuff, these guys are really good on social media. And like I try to take tips from them. And me, I'm not a social media guy. I like seeing these guys on camera because they're personable. They have an energy to them. A lot of you guys are like fucking snails. There's nothing there. There's no substance. So it's cool to see people who are like motivated. And I'm telling you, guys need to keep pushing out the YouTube videos.
Yeah,
For
bro.
sure, we
We're gonna
will.
try. It's consistency, and that's the thing too about everything we just talked about. Like, you absolutely kill whatnot, and like you said, like you might not be as consistent as social media, but it's so hard to do everything all at once.
Oh, I agree.
It's impossible, like to try and do it. So that's why we invest in the growth. Like right now, Chase and I know we need to hit a certain sales number to keep this company growing, and the lights on us right now as we speak, because otherwise, we can't have a YouTube that posts. We can't have whatnot running every day. We can't have Instagram Reels and Shorts that we repost. And it's like, it's really cool once you start seeing the growth, and that's when it gets addicting. It's almost like going to the gym and seeing yourself get a little bigger.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like what you eat up, and that's what drives the addiction. And in Chase too, like I would say, like people like Neecs, like there are some rare people that don't need a partner or like have partners here and there. Like it's very important sometimes if you're in between a partner or not, like to find someone who perfectly kind of complements the other side of you. And like we brought on other people, you all know Franco at this point, like mastermind numbers and super high EQ as well, like that you want to bring into the team, and just they can trust them with your life literally. But I've told Chase things sometimes where he's been in his ways, like he'll be like sure that something works for 2 years and he just listens to me, and then that respect will be paid back to him when he's like, shut up, like, or something like.
And that's the big thing they have to understand is, if you're working together with somebody and you're not butting heads, it's not doing good. You guys have to butt heads. You have to have different opinions, different things, because you know what? If you're always agreeing, you're never going to really reach your maximum potential. That's why I love my guys, because, I get fucked off all the time.
Of course.
They'll cool me down. They'll say, Neecs, this isn't right. When you have a company, too, especially the way you guys are growing, you're going to have times where you just want to fucking rip each other's heads off. It's a good thing. It makes you want to fucking do better and do more.
For sure.
Of course. And then the high rises, man, are incredible after it.
Because honestly, it's like, business is the ultimate sport.
It is.
And
shout out Mark Cuban.
Yeah, shout out to Marky Cuban for that one. And I was like a college athlete, Michigan lacrosse player. Alex played in high school, passionate soccer player, like loves.
He was
sports
captain of
since then.
Michigan lacrosse. I was a high school soccer player.
Still, it's like
yeah.
I've like grown up like that, where it's
Yeah.
like everything's competition, right? But it's like good, fair competition where like Alex pushes me to my best and I push him to his best, and honestly, it goes and kind of trickles down to our employees. Like even our director and everything, like he pushed out our YouTube video in a day. He said, screw the Super Bowl. I'm not watching the Super Bowl. Of course, we're Eagles fans. He says, I'm going to knock out this sneaker con.
Fuck that ref, buddy.
Yeah.
Unreal.
But yeah, so like it's
Never
just,
mind being the Super Bowl was the day that he cranked it out.
he cranked it out on the Super Bowl, and just like I can see his passion and work ethic just going to another level, and like that's what you need. You need everybody firing on all cylinders. Otherwise, you're not getting to your potential.
And you need to trust. It's super hard to build something from the beginning and let your hands off.
Yeah.
Super hard.
You have a tough
And
time with that.
That's a
Yeah.
struggle for me. Like if you ask me what my biggest struggle is, that's it. And like it is something because like you have to know that sure you can do it better, but like the business needs to grow.
For sure.
And Jordan, who runs like all of our director of media, everything, like in the moment, like he'll literally tell me things that are crucial for bettering a video. Because he's just like, you gotta let this happen and this or whatever, and it's like it's right, and that's why again it goes back to the trust of your own team. You have to trust each other that they know what they're talking about.
For sure.
Now, the great thing is everybody knows you have a great team here. You're motivated. How does your family feel about you running this business? Do they accept it at first, or like,
Oh my God.
what the fuck is
When I
going
first
on
showed
here?
the first video of Chase to my family, literally buying a Just Nice Secret convention, my mom's like, seems like a lot of hustling and like I don't know, like a lot of shady stuff going on here. Like, you sure you want to do this? Like
Oh
all
my
these
God.
dollar bills going around?
It's funny, man. It's funny you bring that up because, like, my parents have been so supportive of us as of
Same
the
with mine.
brand. But quitting my job, I was making 6 figures, like, good job, right? And I told them I was going to be quitting. They're like, hold up, what the hell? Like, no, you will not be quitting your job. Like I was explaining to them, like, if I make this amount of money each month, like, I'm making more money. They're like, no, that won't cut it. Like, what about this risk? And what about that risk? And at the end of the day, you got to just believe it in yourself. You got to believe that you can reach those mountaintops and just say, screw it. I'm doing it. I'm going all in. And I remember talking to my grandma, and I told her first, I was like, I'm going to make this company happen. And I just finished reading the Nike book.
Let's go.
whatever it was called. I forget the name of it.
Shoe Dog.
Shoe Dog. And I told my grandma, I was like, I'm gonna make this happen. We're gonna do it. And she was the one who was like, oh baby, I have faith in you. You're gonna get it going. And now, obviously, my parents totally. They see the vision. They are totally bought in, and it's the best decision I ever made in my life. Ever.
That's the big thing that what I noticed too is I was lucky as my parents, you know, Italian parents, they can be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I told them, like, ever since I was in like high school, since I was 15, used to skip school. I fucking hated school. It was so boring.
Yeah.
Go to NYC to buy shoes all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Just skip school, go buy shoes. The fucking nuns would be calling my mom and dad. I'd be getting cursed out. Like, what are you fucking doing? It's so stupid.
Yeah.
And then I went to college for my first year in Cincinnati. Fucking
Yeah.
flunked out. I think I had like a .2 GPA.
Yeah.
Was partying, you know, getting greasy.
Getting
Somebody had
greasy.
to.
They
Stopped
had
having
to.
some beers.
Absolutely. Getting with a few chicks, having fun.
Yeah.
And
Stallion.
I called my mom and dad one day. I said, I can't fucking do this. It's boring. I
Yeah.
hate this shit.
For sure.
I said, I love shoes.
Yeah.
They said, you know what? You can do shoes on the side. Come work at the restaurant. I said, okay. So I worked at the restaurant. If anybody's ever worked in the restaurant, it's fucking hard.
Crazy
Horrible.
business.
Horrible
That
work.
is one business I never want to get into.
It's horrible.
Hand up, I've been in it.
It's
like
awful. You're
fucking
just
terrible.
nonstop, and you get really miserable.
Yeah.
And I looked at my mom and dad and my grandma, because my grandma was my best friend in the whole world. I'm like, I got to build something I love. I love
course.
shoes. The only thing I've ever gave a fuck about.
Yeah.
And, you know, 3 years later, try to get successful, but I'm doing something I love now, and it makes
That's
me
amazing,
happy.
man.
It's amazing.
You're inspirational too, Neecs. Like,
You really are, dude.
No.
seriously though, like we started off like very small, right? Like
Yeah.
a couple thousand followers. When Alex joined the team, we were like maybe 4 to 5K on Instagram, and I probably started watching some of your videos like I don't know, maybe a couple months after you joined, and I was like, wow, this guy out of Pittsburgh, Big Bear, like he's
Yeah.
killing these videos. So it's crazy to be on this podcast now on the Neecs
Yeah.
channel and everything.
Listen, the
Appreciate
pleasure
you,
is
bro.
all mine. I
Yeah.
love meeting hungry people that, you know, care about the culture and are doing good for it, because there's a
For
lot of
sure.
guys out there, it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
But you guys care about your audience. You care about your customers, you know. Giving away T-shirts, giving away PS5s. That's not normal.
Yeah.
You know, a lot
50
of,
PS5s in December.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Christmases.
and I think the problem is people expect that from now on. You know, it's hard
Yes.
to have that same
Yep.
energy. People think this shit's given to you for free, and it's not.
Right.
We have to work for it. Again, it's part of the marketing.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing back to when you really asked them, like, quitting your job, what do your parents think about it? Like, I always feel like the first question for every entrepreneur is, like, the 3 or 4 letters, I guess, 401k. Like, what's going on with your retirement fund? And I
Right.
think, like, what it really breaks down to is, like, all of our parents sitting here, they've found success in their own way, but times were so different. And the time that they, you know, saved that retirement fund, had the 40, 50, 80, 120K salary, and now they're retired and have, you know, mansions. Like, they didn't have a Facebook to open or make, like, a viral video, whether it's someone dancing or not. Like, the times are so different, and, like, you almost have to appreciate them understanding that they don't understand, but they want you to follow your dream. And even though they don't understand it, they're going to take that, like, leap of faith with you almost. And now when they see it works, pays off, it's like the most, you know, fulfilling thing ever.
And, you know, I'm not very good with social media, but social media has changed so many people's lives in a
Yeah.
sense. It's like, you know, think about where your business is coming to social media, where our business is coming to social media. It's always changing, and it's just like a lot of older people just don't understand how, you know, how can you make fucking money off Instagram or Facebook? They don't understand that. But there's just so much out there that people don't utilize, that people need to utilize. Anybody that, you know, wants to buy and sell shoes, get a GoPro, get your iPhone.
Yeah.
Just film your deals. It doesn't matter what you're doing. People love seeing content. I know it can be weird and fucking annoying,
Especially when you're small.
when you're small and you're at an event. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
why does this guy have a camera guy with him? Like, what the fuck's wrong with him?
Yep.
But it feels so rewarding when, you know, especially if somebody comes up to you guys, somebody comes up to me, asks for a picture. It is the most awesome experience because
We love it.
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
You know, some of you guys, 99% of you guys are fucking awesome. With the 1% weirdos, I still
Yeah.
love you guys too. But
Shout out
it's,
to all the weirdos out
it's
there.
just crazy because I remember, you know, especially going to these smaller events, filming,
Yeah.
and just being like, people are like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And now it seems like everybody's doing it. So
I love to tell people, I mean, like, even if you're not a talkable person, you are talking through the deals. And if you don't film it, you're only doing it once forever. If you film it, you're doing it, you know, 1,000 times if it gets 1,000 views. You just did it 1,000 times. So put a GoPro on your chest, and like worst thing that can happen is it gets no views. You're not gonna lose money.
Right.
That's what I mean. You're still putting a lot of these people who are insecure,
Sure.
and you have nothing to be insecure about. There's weirdos everywhere. You might get that niche audience that just attaches to you,
Yeah.
and it's always ever changing. I feel like a lot of kids now are trying to get into it, but they're afraid to post it. You know what I mean? Everybody's so worried about the views, and I know I'm a victim of it. People love seeing high views in their videos, numbers, shorts. You can't worry about that stuff. You know what I mean? It all comes.
It takes time for sure, and I feel like it's something where you definitely can't get caught up into it, and like even if you are getting like a low amount of views, like just keep being consistent, keep going, because you eventually will build up some sort of following, whatever you're doing, whether it be sneakers, selling freaking candy, anything. Honestly, bro, I will go on YouTube just to look at business. Like I've seen vending machines, people selling how to sell vending machine, flipping vending machine business. Like I'm interested in just how do people operate? Like how are they doing what
Number
they're doing?
2 search engine.
And if I'm interested, that means tens of millions of other people are interested.
Absolutely.
So you just got to find your niche. You got to be yourself, honestly, because you never want to fake anything, right? You want to just be yourself on camera, do what you want to do. Be entertaining though. Also realize that like you got people to entertain, so you got to throw in some jokes every now and then. Of course. But if you can just do that, like honestly, sky's the limit for you. Like you'll be able to do whatever.
I think a great thing too is people are always worried about negative comments.
Yeah.
I bet you guys experience it all the time
For
and
sure.
whatnot.
Every day.
There's always going to be ignorant assholes out there.
Yeah.
People that have nothing better to do. You can't worry about negative comments. If they go on the stream and one asshole's bitching, he's hiding behind a keyboard.
Yeah.
These guys are putting themselves out there. Like I know me when I look at my videos, I have the same. There's like 3 trolls comment the same shit all the time. It makes me mad, but you can't worry about the negative energy because you know what? The other 100 people love it.
Literally, yeah.
Yep.
You're inspiring so many others.
And that's how everyone always says too. And it like, I remember I was telling you this earlier. Like it is hard in the beginning to not take it out on like your girlfriend or your loved ones when you see like the trolls come through because it's something like you worked so hard for, and then they're just like totally shitting on you, and you're like, whether they're actually making like a good believable case or not, because it's always untrue. Then you have to try and think about like what's the best thing to do, even though all you want to do obviously is like smack them in the face. Like you have to take it and just go forward, kill them with kindness, show them love, of course, but all the loved ones always say that's how you know you're making it. I mean,
that's my problem is when I was on Whatnot, if I had a negative troll, I couldn't ignore it.
You can't.
I was like tough, saying, man. You're a motherfucker, fuck you, pussy, come find me. Like, they would be the same guys. And I'm like,
people.
Do you have nothing else going on in your life where you have to be in this guy's stream bitching and moaning? And it's just, I feel like it excites me though because I kind of like when somebody's on my back because it makes me want to perform better.
Of course.
Bro, we've had people that we forgot to send like their free new T-shirt to, and they're like, "You motherfucker!"
And those are the people. The people who get the free items are the people that bitch the most.
But here's the craziest part: it's your brand T-shirt. It's not even like a Kith T-shirt. Like you're literally shitting on my life, and you want my brand T-shirt. Like that doesn't exactly add up. Like you're gonna go wear it proudly now that I hate you. Like okay, it's all cool, but again, it's just. It's the 92%. Like you try and shoot for 100% everyone, but like you can't get caught up on that 5 to 8% that are just out to get you. If you're like on the entrepreneurial side, you just have to power through, man. And that's why it's like a great strong circle helps too.
Yeah,
great strong partners like you, like
I was gonna say too, like the thing you realize going to these events, right? Of course, like when you go, you get tons of people saying what's good to you, taking pictures, like that. Those are the people that might not be saying like the great things on the comments or whatever, but then in person they're your buddy, so it's like you can't even think about the internet as like honestly real, because like in real life I've never had someone come up to me and be like, hey, screw you for this, screw you for that. It's always love.
And I've honestly thought we might get a couple of these shows. Like I thought someone would be like you're a dick or something, but they all come up and what can I buy from you? No, I would just like a picture. I'm like, oh, let's go. It's amazing.
I think a big thing is too is a lot of people don't understand. I've seen these guys online. When you build a connection with these people, it goes lifelong.
Literally.
I just know after I leave here, I'm going to text these guys. I'm going to be interested in how their business is doing. I want them to succeed. When you go to these events, start meeting people, start shaking people's hands, saying, "Hey, I'm so and so. This is my business. This is what I'm about." People don't do face-to-face interactions anymore. It seems like
Right.
everything's so fake. Like I've been to tables where I try to buy shoes and the kid won't look at me. It
Yeah.
just drives me crazy. There's no interaction anymore between people. But meeting guys like you, it's refreshing.
It is. No, it truly is. And I feel like, you know, the longer you're in this business, you'll just become more comfortable with going up to people, right?
Yeah.
Like, even at SneakerCon, there was some, like, you know, influencer type people, and I'm just like, hey, I said their name. I was like, I'm Chase Young. I work for Culture, or I'm owner of Culture Kicks. Like, just put yourself out there, guys. The literal worst thing that could happen is they just look at you and walk away.
Yeah.
And the
So-
thing is with influencers too, they're just regular people.
They're normal
Yeah.
people.
Like a lot of these guys that have big channels and stuff, they are the same as you and I. You don't have to worry about going up to them. You're the ones who are building their careers, building their audience.
Right.
These guys coming in here, if you're watching their Whatnot streams, they're appreciative, they're thankful. A lot of these guys just want you to come view them. They don't have to buy anything from them. Just come say, hey, what's
Yeah,
up? That's all they need.
That's all we ask for a follow, right?
All we ask for a follow. Go hit the subscribe, or
Hit
whatever
the
it is.
subscribe button, follow us on
Because
Instagram.
it's like you don't even have to. If you don't want to tip, which people do, by the way, they were buying mad Valentine's Day chocolates for our girl employees. Which the tip jar is always open, guys.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to smack the tip jar, we just say, toss us a subscribe. It's the hardest thing to grow. Like, if you want to follow us on Instagram, it is what it is. But to your point, it's like they aren't just influencers. Like, everyone started from zero. Everyone started from day one of birth. Like, literally, everyone's a human. Like, literally the nicest guy I know, like Brandon Graham on the Eagles. Like, we sell through him and Darius Slay, and you think you show up and, like, they're not going to say anything. Like, one day I met Marcus Epps and it was hailing, and he still, like, through the hail had a conversation with me. I'm like, damn, like, this is pretty crazy. Like, like.
And that conversation probably changed your opinion on him forever.
Forever.
And it just makes you want to keep selling to him.
Just wanted to ask about the business, just because he asked like one question, and it's like you think they're all, you have these preconceived ideas in your head, but
Because what you see on Instagram or social media.
yeah, or honestly movies, like
Movies, anything.
Netflix movies or something, But it is really cool, and it's how you unparalleledly grow. Like, it's definitely not a word, but whatever. Like, how you just grow faster than you should because people want to help you, like you being here
Yeah,
today.
for sure.
Like, just be a good person and crazy, man.
Now, Culture Kicks being at where it's at now, who would be your dream customer, your dream collab you could do with? If you could meet with somebody or film with somebody, who would it be?
You got
Anybody you want.
You got one?
You go first. I'm not sure. I wouldn't even say an Eagle, like, honestly,
no.
because I feel like I like they are like family almost at this point, and I'm gonna try and do like sneaker shows with them. But I feel like something like a Jay-Z would be insane to have here. Or
That would
something.
be honestly like, yeah, I would have to take a breath back and be like,
Yeah.
damn, Jay-Z's in the building.
Yeah.
But I can't really pinpoint anyone right now. I think
Yeah.
that like from our brand perspective is like we want to be tight knit with everyone.
Yes.
It's like we don't honestly, whether you're an influencer, whether you're just a normal person, or let's say like you're just a big sneakerhead, like we try to treat everyone with the same respect. Try to treat everyone with kindness. Like Alex loves to say, like kill them with kindness. So anyone who wants to show love to us, we're willing to show love back. And like you showed mad love to us, and I've obviously, of course, have watched your podcast, watched your YouTube and everything. So
Hilarious and amazing.
You know.
Like, you don't, just because you're hilarious doesn't mean you don't have to spread love. And like every time I sign off and whatnot, I'm like, give someone a compliment who you otherwise wouldn't have, and
Yeah.
like, please do it, because my famous line too is like the guacamole line, when I'm like, if they forgot your
Chipotle.
guacamole at Chipotle, it's not the next guy's fault who you're shitting on,
Yeah.
And it really is true. And like I said, I don't know if I said this on the podcast or offline before, like one of our biggest new customers on Whatnot, he owns a bagel deli. If you literally type in Bagel Deli Denver, it's the first one that pops up. He's like third generation bagel deli. And he just will send us, he's overnighting us his pastrami, corned beef, and like deli meats for our 24-hour streamathon. And he will come in and literally put $1,000 down in tips and buy like 4 or 5 boxes of shoes and give them away to the chat. So you guys will just win like literally a shot at like $1,200 Travis Scott's, because somebody comes through and every day when he like texts me, he's like, the only reason I do it is because like I went through hard times in my life and I had someone there to pick me up and like show love and spread positivity, and like I want to be that guy for you guys, because he's like, you deserve it, like you deserve it more than anything. It's like Chase and I say it all the time. We have buddies who are like our best friends since day one, and they haven't bought a single shoe or even like
A t-shirt or
a
anything.
t-shirt.
Yeah.
Like literally our Culture Kicks vintage t-shirts for $45. But this guy tonight will spend over $500 and keep none of it. tonight
Yeah.
on our live stream, and it's like,
And he does it because he feels like he's part of the community. He feels at home here. He doesn't feel
Exactly.
like he's in a bad environment. He loves the energy.
and I guess the reason I bring that up too is because he's someone that I honestly value the same, if not way more than a Jay-Z or,
Than any
or anyone who
influencer,
comes
yeah,
in.
that's what I was trying to
He'll
get
be
at,
in
too.
here. He'll be in here private shopping for sure, like sitting right here, like, and that is so special to us because like that community and that person would never have been built without the brand. So
Now, that was a great, when you were talking about your friends not supporting you. Does it still bother you to this day that they don't support you, or is it just something that just goes over your head?
I would say, honestly, in the beginning was like kind of bothersome, you know, like because here you are trying to start something, right, and you expect like friends like that you've known forever to be like right there by your side, and then when you don't see the support, you're like, well, damn, who's gonna support me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's always just the random person that you've never met. You maybe met, you sold them a pair of shoes or you did whatever for them, and they will freaking go to war for you.
war.
It's crazy. It's just how the world works, I guess. Like, because I guess sometimes your friends don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you overly.
They'll tell you they want you to succeed, but
You
they'll
know?
be buying the $100 Supreme team, and if you have a $40 team, they don't want to support.
Right. So.
Or it's the side of they have a corporate job. Like I'm a little different because like I'm like my like best friends in the world are all like I grew up with them, so it is like kind of like family brothers, and like literally I have a group chat where they go for sneakers drops for me, like,
Yeah.
and they don't even keep any of it. They just send it and it goes to their house. So like that's like I'm like very blessed for sure, but like the college or like some of the people we met in between, like I still have like pretty close college friends, but like most people who live in big cities, they have corporate jobs and they don't want to see like sometimes like their friend who's like posting all of his entrepreneurial lifestyle around like killing it or whatever, and like
I
you'll
don't
get
know
the
why
text.
people do that. Like, it's almost like a jealousy thing. Like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you be glad that your buddies have been being successful? Like,
Yeah, and that's,
That's
of
what I'm
course
saying.
that's of course like the last like thing I'm trying to get across, but like there are people in your life who without saying it together that they're maybe thinking that, and then you'll get texts like, "Yo, bro, like, how much for those dunks?" I'm like, we both know it's on the website. Like, what do you want me to do here? Like,
You want the
are
hookup?
gonna,
You want the hookup price?
Are you gonna like text like Heinz Ketchum and be like, "Can I get it for 50 cents, bro?" and not the $6 tag at Giant? Like, no. So like, if you want to support, like, and that's the cool part where we're at now. Like, with all love in my heart, like, we really don't need like to
Right.
waste the time to like maybe give someone a better like $30 deal to like go get a shoe that's more inconvenient than selling mystery boxes and having them join the family.
now, as you guys have grown, have you noticed a lot more people trying to get free stuff off of you guys, or?
Absolutely.
I have cancer. My son's like dying. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a war veteran. I have like one leg. Can you send me a PS5? Like, yeah, all
Yeah,
that stuff.
it's stuff like that, and it's like, it's you got to kind of take some of it obviously with a grain of salt. Like, there's just going to be people out there. It's the internet. There's literally 3 billion users on Instagram.
Yeah.
So
Anybody
like,
can put any picture they want as a
Yeah.
profile picture.
So it is kind of difficult to like try to read the room and really feel like, all right, is this person like genuine or not? But we do try our best like to give back. Like, we've done things like in the past where, like this past summer, we gave away like 100 pairs of like school shoes to a school in Philadelphia, just to like show love to the community type things. And I know that's super important. It's super important to me because of just like my background. Like, my dad wasn't born in America. He was born in Jamaica. Like, I've seen the like lowest of the lows of like where life could have been for me.
Yeah.
Like if he didn't make the strides, if my grandmother didn't make the strides to like be more successful, I see where it could have been. So I'm always like, I understand my roots, and I understand that like there's always someone out there doing worse than me. So like, if you have the ability to give back, you honestly should, and it feels right to give back. Like, it just
course.
feels good.
It feels
to do.
amazing. It's like why you do it. Why you
Yeah,
why
like
you
we
wanna
don't
succeed.
intend on building this like we want to saying this right now on camera. We want to be $1 billion type of company.
We will.
That's the type of company we want to be. And I'm not saying that we want to be $1 billion just to be like rich or whatever. To be able to give back to people who genuinely need the money and need it to like just survive and have a better life. That's like kind of what we're all about. And it's like and I honestly think that's why we've been able to grow so fast, and like because we have that vision of event, like it'll all be given back.
And then you have people leapfrogging you like Bagel Deli Denver.
Yeah.
Coming through and they see
I just find it so humbling too, especially like when you see somebody out and about wearing your merch, or you see
Yeah.
somebody supporting you, and they're like, "Where'd you get that cool T-shirt?" Then it spreads it back, and the positivity, and there is good people in this game. There is good people who
Really
care
good.
about you. Like, you'll see the people out there that are all in it for themselves. Some of the bigger
course.
guys, they're like sharks. They want it all. Then you'll see the guys who are really trying to do better for this community. It's just, I see where you guys are going, and I'm telling you, like, the momentum's crazy. And I'm telling you, there's going to be times where it's going to be fucking hard, and you just want to be like, what am I doing? Why isn't this working? Don't ever give up.
Thank you, bro. I mean, and you're an inspiration too. Like,
Because there's been times where, like, you'll get burned on a deal, or, you'll do something and, you get criticized for it. You'll make a video and it'll have a bunch of negative backlash.
Of course.
And you're like, why am I doing this?
Why are you putting yourself through this?
Why am I dealing with all this hate?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you guys have such a positive vibe to you guys. Don't ever give up. I'm telling you. Keep pushing on Whatnot. Keep doing what you guys do. You could easily be a $1 billion company.
Yeah.
That shouldn't even be the limit. There should always be more.
10 bill. But like, literally got sold 2 events ago. This was like one of the moments where it's
Shout out to God Soul. Best
Shout out
event
God
ever.
Joey
Soul.
and Jonathan. Let's go.
Joey and Jonathan, we're coming for the moon. That thing is mooning, and I'm so excited for us to be part of it.
Yeah.
But like other people and influencers, speaking of which, like everybody knows the authenticator of eBay, the famous girl that authenticates it really quick and goes viral and all that stuff. Like 2 moments ago, this is why I was like, wow, like Chase, we're doing something good, bro, because this was like the first person that like I looked up to or thought was like famous, and I gave her a glance, and right when I looked at her, she was doing the same thing to me, and then I like was just like, all right, I'm not sure, like I'm like she's talking to somebody. She left her conversation, came up to me and went like this. She's like, I love you. Just I love you. She's like, you spread so much love on Whatnot. I can't stop watching you guys. Like, thank you so much. Gave her one of those triple-headed MVP T-shirts of ours.
Yeah.
She's walking by us, the next event, SneakerCon Philly, and goes, let's fucking go! And she's wearing it in Philly, and I was like, wow, dude. And like, I literally picked her up and hugged her. I'm like, I love you, because like, again, she's just someone who's like wearing like an angel aroma around her. Like, you cannot be negative meeting Shimmy. Like, it's unbelievable. So, shout out her, shout out spreading love. But like, that's the kind of stuff, man, where you grow and just like, wow, like we are actually making an impact. Because like, I used to watch and be like, damn, she is authenticating the shit out of those like, so quick. Like, I was like, oh my god, like
how's she doing it? Type
killing it.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Having you here, crazy.
No, the being crazy is seeing you guys starting so young, less than a year ago to where you're at now is fucking awesome. It makes me motivated because I know there's times where I'll be, doing spreadsheets. I'm like, this is so fucking boring.
Yeah.
I should be doing something else.
Of course.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep busting it, keep doing it. Driving to these events, driving 10, 12 hours doing events.
4-hour drive to get here.
Just to
you
get
two.
here.
Just for today, for you guys.
Hit the like button.
Hit the like
Hit the
button.
like button. Smash
Listen,
that like button.
I want to make sure all their links are down below. And I'm telling you guys, they have fantastic inventory on their website. Please check them out. Really great guys. But guys, as we're near the end of the podcast, I know 2023 is going to be a big year for you guys. What events do you guys see yourself going to this year?
I think we're gonna try and hit every SneakerCon and every Got Soul
For sure.
across the country. I know there's some out of the country too.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a 2024 thing.
Yeah.
I would love it for now, but we got to keep the business model of Whatnot 6 days a week. I know you're mixing in some others down in Florida.
We'll be going to a lot of. I was talking to Neecs about this too, like Sneaker Travelers, Sneaker Exit.
And you event promoters, hit these guys up, get them down there. They're going to put on a show for you guys.
And we're going to bring people, and we're going to buy heavy as well. So we're going to just have people coming in who want to sell. So that just brings people into the door. So
Our last event, I mean, it was filled with probably, I would say, 100 and change people just there to find us. But, like, people recognized the name Culture Kicks and, like, wanted to sell to Chase. And there was 100 people the whole time. It was like, wow. Like,
12 to
this
6.
is crazy.
Had a smile on my face, didn't eat a single piece of food, and didn't go to the bathroom once.
There it
Everyone
is.
was impressed. They were
That's
like,
talent.
"Bro, that's impressive." I was just
Yeah.
like locked in. That's like honestly like the funnest part about like sneakers and everything. Me, like I don't think we even got into this, but like background of like the love of sneakers and everything. My dad's big sneakerhead his whole life, like born and raised. Oh, I said he came from Jamaica. Came to the Bronx, New York, around like the age of 5 or 6. Was into the hip hop like when hip hop was booming, the 70s, 80s, like that's when he was growing up. So he always had all the latest shoes. And when I was younger, I remember he got me a pair of the Reebok Question Mids. That was like my first pair. I loved AI.
Great shoe.
Philadelphia kid.
AI is my favorite basketball
Favorite
player.
basketball player of all time. Favorite, honestly, one of my favorite just like inspirational type people of all time.
Yeah.
And so like my pops was like always, you know, bringing in just shoes every day, like because he was coming in like, and every time he was getting a pair, like he was tossing me a pair too. So like whether it was Air Max 90s, Reeboks, Jordans. I remember my first pair of Jordan 3s were the Jordan 3 Knicks colorway.
So the question mids was got you in the shoe.
Question mids is what like made me be like, wow, this is freaking
This is
amazing.
cool.
This is like how this is art right here.
Now you're building a brand and empire.
Yeah.
man.
So I like honestly like took a break from shoes because I was so focused on sports.
Yeah.
So focused on getting a scholarship, playing college lacrosse and everything. And then after college, I like got back into shoes. I had some money in my pocket for my jobs. I was like, oh, I can start buying some more shoes again. And then, you know, here we
Travi,
are.
you got some Travi Dunk lows.
Got
You were
some lows.
splurging.
But here we are. Now I got, you know, lots of shoes.
And again, like something that I like really appreciate Neek saying too is like it isn't just overnight, but also it doesn't have to take 10 years in today's day of age of
Yep.
business. Like if you put in the time and you really crank content, like you can have your content work for you. Like Chase and I went to the first Got Soul in New York together, and we had a table, guys, like literally as wide as this table with like 50 pairs, and like everyone just walked by us. Like we, you know, I mean, we were just another vendor for sure, but like
It does
everyone's
feel humiliating. I know exactly what you're
everyone's
going
just another vendor at some point. Like even just buying the first table is huge, and if you put in the work and you show people love along the way, like it's all going to come back, and it's the most fulfilling thing. I don't think there's ever it's never too late. Like that's the biggest thing too. Like
Right.
it's seriously never too late. Whatever you can do, like if it makes you happy, it's worth it. Even to try and fail, because at least you know you tried, and like at least you like shot for the stars, and now you can go like, you know, do whatever works for you after. You don't
How
have to think
crazy
about
is it for you now where people used to walk by the table, now you're spending 80, 100K at an event. How crazy is that, you know, flip?
It's crazy, man. It's like I don't even know how to give you words. It's just
I was about to say the same thing, like, because it kind of happens, like, it happens fast, but it also doesn't happen fast.
Doesn't.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I started off my first video at Just Nice Sneaker Convention, and I'll keep it up there forever. Spent like $4K, like I was telling you, and I thought I was balling.
What Just Nice event was that?
Just Nice,
Was it?
Edison, New
New Jersey.
and that's where Alex is in the video.
I cashed him out one pair of New York Dunks, whop and cash out.
Whopping cash out, but I'm like, here
That
I am,
Atlantic
big
City
ball.
event was terrible. I was,
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Not too good.
That was
Not a
honestly-
good Atlantic City event.
Yeah,
I'm
so
pretty much banned from Just Nice.
yeah.
I don't think you liked our video.
Well, I mean,
He's a-
he's got
he's a
to
good
up
guy,
the video or up the conventions. They got to get better. Like, you know,
Yeah.
everybody wants to see growth, right? No one wants to see something go down, like so
or stay the same.
or stay the same. So
It's a
people
great.
wanna see
It's.
growth.
I will say one thing about Just Nice. It's a great like if you're starting off and
If
you're
you're
trying to
starting
sell.
off.
Like he's definitely got your best interests. Like if you want to get in the door and see what it's like, you know.
I think it's crazy that when you go to like God's Souls, like it's like spoiling us because that's what events should be.
Yeah,
And you know,
True.
when you go there, I mean, their last event, you couldn't move.
insane.
move.
They need a bigger place now.
I'm telling you, it's
What
crazy.
people like, right? They now are like, all right, Godsole now needs to get bigger because you have way too many people in this building.
Killing it. And again, it just goes back to the main point. Like, they're such good guys. They work so hard.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you want, like, I literally reposted it the second I saw them on, like, CABC or something. Like you love good things happening to good people. And, like, they've put in the work. Like,
Oh,
people
10
say to
plus
them,
years
like,
easy.
oh, it's
Well,
crazy.
it's-
You just started this 2 years ago. They started 10 years ago.
Yeah.
12 years ago.
And it's just wild too because you go to like a sneaker con. Sneaker cons are great, but it's very corporate.
Very
When
much
you're
so.
at a God's Soul, it's like everybody there is doing the same
It's
thing.
different.
It's
Buy,
a
sell,
different
trade.
vibe. And Jonathan, you guys know what you do the best, and I'm so proud of them because they are exploding.
Yep.
They're getting more people at their events now than SneakerCon. And
crazy.
SneakerCon's the Godfather.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just these two young kids.
It's not
Kill.
even a sneaker thing at this point. It's going to be entertainment. It's going to be, why do you go to a football game when you can go for $50 to God's Soul? What's more entertaining? What, baseball game or God's Soul? You know, like what the average person is choosing every day. They're going to get into the entertainment business. Like, we want to be part of all the growth with them. I told Joey, because I met Joey before I met Jonathan, I said, we're going to be really big one day, and I want to grow with you.
Yeah.
And he actually was like, I got you, man. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and I do think he believes me. But, like, of course, how many people are going to say that with their little dinky table in the beginning?
I think
For sure.
I think what I appreciate so much about them too is like I met Jonathan probably 3 God Souls ago and I had nothing. I was very small following and nothing. He didn't have to talk to me at all. He stood and talked to us for probably 25, 30 minutes, just asking how the event was. He's a real great guy. And now it's just like I want them to fucking pass SneakerCon.
Of course.
Absolutely. And I feel like we're the same type of way where it's like, no matter how big or small, at least give that person some time to just like hear them out or just like make their day. Because like you really don't know the type of impact. Like you didn't know that type of impact. I'm sure Joey or Jonathan didn't know that impact that they had on you back then, right?
Just like now when somebody comes up to you guys, you think, wow, somebody's coming to get a picture with us. Like, you don't expect it.
Yeah.
You don't know what they're going through. That's the thing I like always tell myself. Like, you never know what someone's going through in life. It's always different. And like, they might have just come there to meet you, and like, they'll get really shy on the spot. But it's like, that's why you just greet everyone with a smile. And
For sure.
It's amazing, man. It's like, I never thought you look down at sneakers with this little Nike swoosh shit, and like all of a sudden you could like change people's lives in the long
The
term.
relationships you've built, the people
Oh my
you've
God.
changed.
Just wearing these things, and like you go to a bar and it's like, what's good, bro? Like, where are you from? Like, it literally just starts the conversation
Culture.
and starts the culture.
Yep.
Guys, I had such a fantastic podcast. Is there anything else you'd like to get off your chest before we sign off?
Streamathon.
Streamathon, maybe by the time you guys are seeing this.
Or it's already passed, which means you slept and that's missed out. So you're
But
gonna
we
have
will
to wait
have
for the next
more.
one.
I'm gonna pull the Big Bear back out for a 24-hour, if not 48-hour stream.
I'll be here.
Where he's gonna be featured on this, guys. Neecs and Culture Kicks to the moon.
Oh, it's gonna be greasy.
Anybody who shows love to the moon, for real. But like, appreciate having you here, dude. Making the drive. Like,
Yeah.
this guy again is going to lead this industry as well. And like, Neecs is the glue, man. Like, Neecs is just like the glue. So appreciate you guys like always coming through, and I'm hyped to have you back and travel the country together this year. 2023 is going to
I
be great.
can't wait to meet these guys at all these events. And listen, these are the grand prizes for the stream tomorrow.
Yeah.
You don't want to sleep on this.
Yes,
No, sir.
What can they win the yours for?
We're going to start them at $200. $10,000 shoe. Look it up on your favorite app. $10,000.
$200 for this.
So it's a movie for sure, but again, it's just a fun time. Whether you like to, ball out or not, it's just fun to interact with everybody and show love, tip, give some people some different things, and meet people like you, on there.
Well, the pleasure was all mine. Culture Kicks, thank you for having me out here. This was Neecs After Hours. Neecs to the fucking moon, baby.
To
Let's
the moon.
go. Good shit, man.
Dude, great fucking job.
Fuck yeah.
Just left. Absolutely fucking awesome staff. Fantastic guys. We'll be seeing them in Chicago in March. Cannot wait to go back. Really good podcast. Probably my favorite one ever. Guys, seriously, check them out. I'll make sure I have all their links and stuff down below. They're streaming on Whatnot. I'm not on Whatnot anymore, but please go check them out. Tell them the Big Bear sent you. And I think this was a great fucking video. I also wanted to say, they did a buyout. They bought 17 pairs of my shoes for $5,500. They bought some good pairs. Really like those guys a lot. So we'll see you guys in Chicago. Neecs to the fucking moon, baby.
Bitch, who? Maybach truck in the coupe. Only time I'm going back and forth is for the juice.